generally attorneys, y'all can do whatever y'all want.
For a bank, for counsel,
For attorneys, for,
services.
engineers, architects, everything else, you'll have to go to procurement. Attorney is one of the positions where you can do whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to move that we go ahead and check into this. We make sure that we get this done then at the next meeting. You're stating that you think you can get it done if we delay just till next meeting. So we need a decision, and I want to clarify, if we get the procurement laws. And I can definitely, I've sent you all my emails, that whole trend of emails, and where I specifically state to Mr. Cantu that I can no longer speak to him. Sure.
Whatever the commission decides that it should be. The only thing that you need to think about, I believe, is that you're not giving the rest of them a fair chance to show you ahead of time what they have.
I agree.
And this gentleman did, and I specifically told him not to contact the commission. When I met with him sometime, I think it, like I said, between June and July. Here's the disadvantage. Are we gonna let the other firms submit before a bid opening?
I agree. I totally agree with you.
That's, you know, it's very specific. I told him, and it's in there. But like I said, it's like the attorney said, it's your choice. But that's why I always make it a point of even, I know that sometimes engineers like to submit their bids to the city manager, and which I don't think it's a good idea, not because our city manager would do anything, but this keeps everybody on top. Nobody sees it except the purchasing. And it should stay before it's time to open up a bid, so that everybody has a fair share.
That's been the general practice anyway, or the practice. Okay. All right. Is there a motion to table?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Aye. Then we don't take action on the next one, council? Because it has to do with bond and giving permission and that kind of thing.
I don't know, do you have to share some information or?
Okay, let me go ahead and read that item. It's consider reviewing the bond refunding options and authorize the city and First Southwest to begin the process to obtain the City of San Juan's financial contribution as it relates to annual savings.
Mayor, members of the commission, staff, and ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Vela with First Southwest Financial Advisors to the city. As you recall, we have been making a series of presentations to the City Commission concerning the two things, the refunding of certain obligations, outstanding obligations, and of course the new money side of it. The new money, the assumptions were that we would issue less than $10 million in calendar year 16, making the paper bank qualified, which carries a lower interest cost. Obviously, we're getting towards, and that has to be closed, it has to be sold and delivered prior to December the 31st. December the 31st is on a Saturday, so Friday would be the 30th, so we're looking probably at closing on the 29th. So given all of these things that would be put into motion, we would have to develop the offering documents, we would have to do the ratings, we would have the due diligence for Underwriters Council, and we would probably have a sale in the very early part of December. And that means that the bond counsel would have to pre-file with the Attorney General's office to be able to get it, to get the transaction closed. Now, if for whatever reason the calendar or events do not hold true, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we can carry it on to next year. Obviously not with bank qualified rates, because we will have this transaction as well as the Water Development Board transaction on the first time sewer component transaction, and possibly the new money if the City Commission so desires. Rates are what they are. We're getting into a season that it's very unpredictable as to what's going to happen. So there's not very many people that can tell you rates will be here, or they'll be up here, or they'll be down here. I mean, we all would be exaggerating and beyond our capabilities, quite frankly. So, we take it one step at a time and we do the best we can under the circumstances. But if we do decide to go forward, we will work very hard to get this transaction done. At the next meeting, we would proceed with authorization to proceed, select the method of sale under the circumstances due to the time frame that we've got involved, and we've discussed this with your staff. I don't think a competitive sale would accommodate the needs because those are very rigid in terms of dates. I think we go with a negotiated sale. And we went ahead and pulled up all of the proposals that we had gotten from interested firms, and your staff has all of those already, for you all's consideration. Like we said the last time, Mayor, and you may recall, since this, assuming we're in the bank qualified state, we would only need one underwriter. With $8 million or slightly close to $8 million, you could accommodate two, but due to the market that you're trying to achieve here with bank qualified paper, there's no sense in everybody flooding. You're not going to get a wider distribution with two firms, so it's best to stay with one firm. So any one of the three firms that you have that have solicited from you, we've checked them out. They're all good firms. Anyone that you all decide to go with is fine with us.
Thank you.
And so we'll wait till next week.
Yes, sir. Then we'll take action on B.
So that means we can't move forward with this item, right?
Yeah.
Until you get a bond counsel?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
We cannot move with number B unless bond counsel? Or?
We can't authorize you to do something that hasn't been.
All of the documents that we prepare have to be run by the bond attorney. And normally we would place it in, that goes on the bottom of the front cover, and they review and they provide the tax exempt opinion. I think it would be best if not necessarily that we would like to wait a week, but if it means next week, so be it. There's certain things that in the backdrop we can do,
Okay.
To help along under the assumption that it would go forward.
So there will be somebody appointed.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we'll go ahead and take no action on that one, put it back on the agenda as well. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Is there a second? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
This meeting is